All right, I just have a few words to say. I'm watching the news right now, different news programs. I watched Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, all the different, and David Parkman, and as well as other left and right side points of view on different matters. And because, it's good to have a full perspective on what's actually going on, especially right now when things are not for sure when it comes to the United States government. Um, I'm watching this one program where it's talking about the FBI warning on shutdown consequences as Donald Trump's is is trying to figure it out basically. What my thing is, okay, shutting down the federal government for a few days, like what happened with the Obama, what happened with uh, Reagan, and many other presidents of the past, it only was shut down for a few days. And so it wasn't that huge impact. Like it's what's happening right now, it's been over 30 days. Um, and, uh, and we're about to approach the next pay period of these federal workers because they get paid on the 1st and the 15th. And military people get paid on the 1st and the 15th. And what these people don't realize is that you they're faced with possibilities of losing their home, their apartment, losing their car, getting their electricity cut off, their water shut down, their trash picked up, um, feeding their pets, their family, their kids, their spouse, and of course pay for medications that are desperately needed for some people. Um, And I'm fortunate because I don't work for the federal government. But if I did, I'll be, living from paycheck to paycheck like I do, and not much of a savings to rely on. This is outer crap that we're going through right now. And the Democrats don't want to bend. The Republicans don't want to bend. Donald Trump, I don't know what side he's on because it's hard to tell if he's on the right or if he's on his own. I believe the latter. He's on his own because he doesn't want to bend either. And he's one thing I do know is that when I was a child, I used to respect Donald Trump, and I used to look up to him like that's where I want to be, and that's who I want to be because, I thought really that he worked himself from poor to being rich as a child. I mean, this is when I was a kid, and not really knowing his history and with his father and everything. But then I found out later that he got $100,000. And this is what I heard. Okay, that he got $100,000 from his father. So I'm like, wow. Well, $100,000. Okay, I still respect the guy. He's able to turn $100,000 to $1 billion industry. But then now, in 2015, 2016, when he was running for president, I was able to dig a little bit more into Donald Trump's past and saw that he bankrupt a lot of his companies. I mean, and got into businesses that he didn't know anything about, like airline industry, steaks, selling steaks at Sharper Image. I mean, really. Um, and some type of liquor. I don't remember which bourbon I think it was, but it was some type of liquor. And all these businesses failed. And one thing that Donald Trump is halfway good at is real estate. Stick to real estate, buddy. That is where you make your millions. Stick to being on TV. That is where you make your millions. Like when he was on different reality TV shows. The Apprentice. Um, he made money doing that, and because of that, his popularity of being who he is, he always tell these lies that his father gave him $1 million loan, when it really and truly it's been way more than that throughout the years. I mean, not 2 million, not 3 million. It was way higher than that. I don't have the exact figure on the top of my head, but this guy doesn't have any idea what the average household has to go through and put up with in their life. He doesn't have any inkling of an idea. And this saddens me because most other Congress people, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of the other Congress people, they built themselves from, working in coffee shops as a barista to being a congressperson. I'm talking about Arcasia, that lady. Sorry, I don't remember your name. I'm so sorry, honey. But, they built themselves from nothing to being something. And then you take a person who is rich. Maybe they were brought up, or maybe, upper middle class. They were brought up in that as a child. And yet they, are serving the public because they feel that's the right thing to do. But Donald Trump was spoon fed his entire life. So he has no idea what these people go through. Whereas if you and me, the average household, was a president of the United States, would have never held the government down for 30 days, or 60 days, 90 days. Oh, good. I mean, good night, a year. And me knowing how Donald Trump thinks, he will keep this going until he gets his way. He's not let me tell you, folks, for those who want that wall, I know there are some friends of mine on Facebook who wants the wall. He's not going to get the entire wall. He promised the entire wall. He promised that Mexico will pay for it, but it's not going to happen. The money that he says he's going to make on tariffs doesn't go to the United States government, okay? So what is he talking about? He's begging for money. We are not going to give it to him. So therefore, the government's going to be shut down. It's going to be like this. And what can we do? Blame it on the Democrats? Well, sure. If you're on the right side, blame it on the Democrats. If you're on the left side, blame it on Donald Trump and the Republicans and Mitch McConnell. Do what you will, but think about how this is affecting our world, or our world inside the United States. Our food is not getting inspected. The FBI is begging, please, because they have contacts in different parts of the world. And if they don't get paid and they don't get something for what they sacrifice their life, and like in countries where they get good intelligence, if they leave us, we won't have that intelligence anymore. It's not something that the FBI can just say, hey, we got paid now, so we can now help you out. It doesn't work like that. These are, trusted sources that the FBI has trust in. But then too, I mean, how are you gonna help an FBI person who can barely get to work? FBI, TSA, FAA, U.S. Department of Education, all the museums that are in parks and recreations that is federally run, it's going to affect each and every one of those people. They won't be able to, eventually they're going to run out of gas. And if they're not getting paid, how would they get gas to get to work? They're not opening up gas pumps, for them to fill up their cars so they can at least get to work. What about their electricity? It is cold outside. You can almost survive the heat, but you cannot survive freezing cold. How in the hell will they pay for their bills, their gas bill, so they can keep their heat on? Or the electric bill, if it's electric heater, to keep their heat on? To fix food. They're running out of food. And yes, there are programs out there, there are services out there that's helping these federal workers who are not getting paid now to bring home some food, but it's not going to be enough. Have you ever been to a food bank before? I have. And it's not a whole lot of food. The food will last for 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 or 5 days. Especially when you get a lot of vegetables and fruits. It doesn't last that long. And so what you end up is with a lot of starch, bad food that's not good for you. But okay, you can say, well, right now we're surviving. What is there to survive? These people didn't ask for that. When you join the United States military, you do ask for it because you are put in situations where all you have is an MRE. Okay? And we signed up for that. But those federal workers did not sign up for this. Because, I don't know about today's generation, but in my generation in time, I remember when people said, you get a federal job, you're set for life. Well, it doesn't seem that way so at this moment. And we don't know how much longer this will last. Whether the Democrats finally give in and give up and say, okay, how about $3 billion, Donald Trump? Please accept $3 billion. Or we'll give you the $5.7 billion that you need. Just open up the goddamn government. Or if Donald Trump says, you know what? We do need an FBI. My Secret Service men are looking, and women, Secret Service people are looking mighty thin these days. They're losing a lot of weight. Oh, we haven't paid them. They haven't been able to get groceries. See, if Donald Trump, he doesn't get paid. He gets $1 per year, or is it $1 per month? So he doesn't really get a paycheck because he declined his pay so he can be, and that was one of his campaign things. He's not getting paid to be the United States president. Okay? But this is absolutely ridiculous that this is going on right now. And I feel so bad. And we're looking like idiots to all the foreign, VIPs out there. Everybody's looking at us like we're crazy. This is absolutely ridiculous. We really need Donald Trump just needs to reopen the government. That's all there is to it. And there is no way we can get around this. The Democrats, maybe they do have to give in. I don't want them to, okay? Trust me. In my heart, I do not want the Democrats to bend, okay? Because in my opinion, the wall is not needed. The wall is needed in concentrated areas, but it's not needed throughout the border. And only in areas where this type of activity happens the most. But there are some areas between, Mexico and the southern border where it's not really needed. You don't need a border that's 2,000 miles long. You don't need that. Do you need border security? Oh, yeah, of course. Because I don't want anybody being over here illegally either. Okay? Anybody that's already here, I think we should just say, you know what? Fuck it. Let them stay here. Let it be. Give them their citizenship or a green card or something so that at least they can walk the streets legal and we can vet them properly. And if they break any laws, give them, 5-10 years. So if they do break any laws, I'm talking about hardcore, like rape, murder, any type of felonies, send them on back, But anybody who is a law-abiding citizen, or a law-abiding immigrant, okay, I have to get that right. Because one thing that we have to remember is that this country is founded on immigration. Immigration is a part of us. This is how we are. The Scottish, the Irish, the British, the Spanish, the different countries in Africa, okay? Because there's many countries in Africa, especially on the west side of Africa. That's where a lot of us came from, okay? A lot of us came from Europe as well. In fact, a lot of people have done ancestries and saw that, but that's a whole different discussion. We need to realize what's going on here, and let's stop this madness. But we all know that Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about a goddamn wall. Because if he did, he would have got this approved when he had the majority in Congress. It would have been too easy for him. Because Obama had a hard time as president because the majority of Congress would not approve everything he was trying to do. Trump did have that for 2 years. He could have been had that wall built, or at least under construction by now, because would have took several years to build. But it would have already been passed. It would be trucks out there right now building this goddamn fence, whatever. But he waited this long, and now all of a sudden it's being brought up because when Trump wasn't really caring about the wall, then here we go, Rush Limbaugh. Well, I don't have any respect for the president if he blah 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 blah. Now we got the government shutdown. And I'm telling you, if this government shuts down, even if it's like this for any minute longer, maybe like another month, we're going to see things happen that you have never seen in any of our lifetimes. You're going to see this whole world, this whole country of ours, just crumble. It is not just I know the news, they concentrate on TSA. That is a big part, of course, because that's our security in the skies. FAA is our security in the skies as well while the planes are in the air. While the planes are on the ground, the TSA controls that. But once the planes goes in the air, FAA controls that. Then we got the food. Our food is not being inspected. Diseases. The CDC is constantly monitoring potential diseases that could pop up and kill us all. And without them, we've been under this umbrella, this dome of ours, for many years. And we're just under this great protection that we call the United States, where these diseases and all these viruses and bacteria that could kill us instantly. And right now, it's not being inspected. So for all we know, there could be a virus swimming about in the air, inject right into our nose, and before we know it, thousands of us will die. There's no regulations of any sort in the education department. Transportation. There's no regulation as far as our infrastructure is concerned. So we cannot let this happen for any much longer. Someone has got to give. Will that happen anytime soon? I don't know. That's all I gotta say. I don't know what to say now.